We have two people from the public. Question or statement?
Statement. Question too. Dr. Luza, board members, my name is Christine McQuistion. I'm a parent with 2 children in the district. I was recently made aware that this past trimester, the children were supposed to be comparing 2 different books. They never received the books in their classroom, and yet they were still tested on the books for their benchmark tests. The children were very confused. They had no idea what they were looking at. They were very upset. The teacher had to explain to them, don't worry, just do the best you can. But they'd never seen this material before. They didn't even know, the teacher didn't even know that these 2 books were going to be compared until after their grades were even turned in. They never even received the matrix until after they asked for the matrix. This is a problem. What kind of district tests their children on subject matter without even giving them the subject matter to learn? I suppose someone was happy to test the children and check it off their to-do list. However, this was done with complete disregard for the children. For the next trimester, I have heard they do have the matrix. They do know that the children will again be asked to be comparing 2 books on their next benchmark tests. However, they again do not have the sets of books for their classes. They don't even know who to ask at the district office for these books. Are we really this disorganized at the district office? The teachers have told me they're having to pay with their own money for the material for their children. And the reason why is because they actually care about the success of their students. There are excellent teachers in our district who have told me they have 1 foot out the door because of the lack of support from this district office. Dr. Luza, testing children on books they have never received is obviously a failure of the system. It is a disservice to our children. You are, as superintendent, ultimately responsible for being sure that the thousands of children in this district are receiving a first-class education. Can you tell me what you're going to do to prevent such a failure to happen again in the next trimester? Are the children going to receive the books that they're going to be tested on?
You're addressing the board, and the question is to the superintendent. I recommend that you make an appointment with him. And at the
I would
same
like
time,
to.
if I may?
Yes.
At the same time, we will look at it as well.
Can you tell me who a teacher is supposed to ask to get the books?
The principal.
They told me it's a district office. There's someone at the district office that they're supposed to ask for the books.
Protocols are in that particular, there's only one. If a parent has a concern, hasn't been resolved, go to the principal.
The principal's going to give us the books.
That's where the solution starts to happen.
Okay, I'll ask them to stand so tomorrow.
That's working on a local level. When it gets to the district level, then you have support people here who are working hard every day to make sure that they get their work done and done well. That's including finance, that's including curriculum, that's including training, that's including a lot of other issues, even the guardian.
It's a real problem if teachers don't know who to ask for the books. Isn't this a problem?
You work with the teacher, you work with the principal, and from there, we go the next step up.
I'll talk to Ms. Sanzo tomorrow.
That'd be good.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you very much for your questions as well. Next speaker, please, your name?
Gabriela Perez, teacher, Mission Park.
Thank you.
I just wanted to make a comment to Ms. Sanders' presentation. I totally agree that there were a lot of professional developments put in place and a lot of chances given to attend those developments, but it's not being provided. I attended Raleigh, I attended GLAD. Both of those implementations require a tremendous amount of time per lesson to actually develop. Given that we're basically only paid for the time that we're actually physically in front of the students. We do not have any, to speak of, paid prep time. And we need to grade, we need to prepare, we need to communicate, which is basically all on our own time. The approach that we're taking, that for Rally, for example, we need a particular kind of text. We don't have those texts available in a set of 30 or however many we need for our students. We would have to research those texts ourselves to find them, first of all. Then we have the problem to have the right number of texts available so every student actually has one. Then there's a tremendous amount of time to spend to prepare these lessons. My question is, instead of having every teacher reinvent the wheel, why isn't it possible at the district level to select these texts per grade level, per subject matter, develop these lessons at the district level and give them to the teachers, which then can, of course, tweak them to address particular needs of their students, instead of having 400-something teachers reinvent the wheel, everybody for themselves. It is, in my mind, a complete waste of time that people don't have, and I think that is, to be speaking honestly, and I hope nobody takes offense in that, that is why teachers burn out, because the burden is just too much in too little time. I always compare the situation of a teacher to an attorney. Nobody would think of paying an attorney for just the time that they are in the courtroom. An attorney is paid for all the hours of prep that they have to do. And so it really rests with the time we have at hand. As teachers, most of the population of teachers is female. We have children of our own that also would like to see us every once in a while. So if we could have a more streamlined approach at the district level, how to develop these materials, find these materials, I think the entire student population would greatly benefit.
Thank you. Your name, please.
Sean Henry, parent with children in the district. I've heard quite a few different things here. Going back in terms of talking about Common Core, Dr. Luza became the superintendent in June, interim superintendent in June of 2013. So the entire school year, this entire school year before, he was the superintendent. In December, he was made the permanent one, but for the entire year, even before the school year started, he was a superintendent. Garcia said, you gotta have a plan ahead to get ahead. What I heard in here was that teachers have been preparing for the third year for Common Core. I've been sitting in these school board meetings and been hearing that teachers have not gotten the training in different Common Core strategies or different things. I see a lot of different training presented, but I never get a description about what's actually getting them ready and for them to teach the new standards and the whole change. We had a presentation, a very good one, by the way, by Ms. Garza Nunez, who talked about the benchmark testing that was done throughout the entire district. And it actually encapsulated what another parent said, you know, the personal experience, that the benchmarks weren't really reflective. The benchmarks are supposed to be about what's being taught and to give the teacher information about their students and then also parents information from that. And it was really talked about like they hadn't been taught, they hadn't been given the information, so they're not doing too well. So it begs the question that if you have 3 years to do it, to plan for it, and you get there and you have the teachers that haven't been prepared to teach the students, they haven't been given the actual text or the different information that's on the tests. They don't know about the test, they don't know what's going on until after the fact. What's the purpose of putting this kids throughout the district through testing, benchmark testing, that doesn't mean anything? It doesn't go towards the instruction for the teacher to get information about the instruction because it wasn't related to it. It doesn't help give you information about the student because that's not what they've been learning on a daily basis. So at some point, when something's messy or rolling it out for whatever reason, if if your planning ahead didn't get you ahead, when do you get to the point to basically say, what are we testing these benchmarks for? Let's get ready for the next benchmarks and let those be the basal first testing scores, because maybe they'll have the books then. Maybe they'll have the information. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next item is on business.